Hey everybody, this week's episode of The Recap is brought to you by Elf Creek Games, and hi there! It's Sunday, so you know what time it is. I'm going to be doing three things. I'm going to tell you about what went up on my channel. I'm going to tell you about what went up on other people's channels. I'm going to tell you about what went up on Board Game Geek, new games that I think are very, very exciting indeed. And yeah, got some fun stuff. Let's just get right to it, starting with exclusive videos that are on my channel for folks who support the show, either on Patreon or here on YouTube as members. I've got a couple of standouts. For starters, there is my monthly ramble, which is a show where every month it's a vlog that I cover some new topic, and this one's particularly fun because I'm bringing the ranking back. Remember I was doing that last year? Just doing rapid-fire comparisons of Game A to Game B, and just ripping my hair out trying to figure out which one I should favor over the other. It was torture, and I'm now torturing myself once again for backers of the show. Sriracha, the rival networks, that's a tough choice. And in this 50-minute video, I did over 50 comparisons, talked about over 100 games rapid fire, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun to do, and I forgot just how stressful it was. So anyway, that's available for backers of the show. Thanks for helping keeping Rahdo running. And also my latest Rahdo Recluse, which is a show every month I play through an entire game from start to finish. Although this one's a little bit different. This is the new Earth Abundance expansion, which I'm going to be covering when its crowdfunding game launches on Earth Day. And here's the deal, folks. If you back the show, if you're a supporter, you get to see videos, all my videos, days, weeks, sometimes even months early. So backers have already gotten to see Earth Abundance a couple of weeks ago. But what's interesting is, after I finished my run through and ended with a cliffhanger, I was having so much fun, I decided to keep playing and finished a full playthrough from start to finish of Earth with the new Abundance expansion. And again, it's available right now for folks who help keep Rahdo running. Thanks to everybody. But now, let's talk about stuff that is public for all to see. We've got some very, very neat videos. For starters, I did a preview of Tiny Epic Game of Thrones, which, said before, I'll say it again. The Tiny Epic series has never been more epic than this. This really delivers the core idea of giving you a big box experience in a tiny, tiny footprint in a tiny, tiny box. And this game does the impossible, turning an epic dudes on a map style battle for dominance into a game that can work amazingly well both as a solo and a co-op, which is what really pulled me in. And my preview is, geez, it's one of the longer ones I've ever done because I do a preview for the solo game and a preview for the co-op game. Two for the price of one when I covered Tiny Epic Game of Thrones. Alrighty. Then I also, or I'm sorry, not me, Ruel did a preview for The Eternaut, which is also crowdfunding right now. This is based on a hugely popular and well-respected and influential comic book series from Argentina. And it is a post-apocalypse thing where the world is blanketed in snow, or I should say Argentina is blanketed in snow, and this is a lethal snow that'll kill you to touch. And people are trying to survive, braving this environment to scavenge supplies, work with other people, and find out what is the mystery behind this lethal snow. Ruel did a great little run-through of the intro of the game, so it's not going to have huge spoilers, and it really shows off just how harrowing can be and how clever it can be, combining cards with items you find and to create all kinds of interesting narrative moments and survival, scavenging, tool building, all of that stuff. That's The Eternaut. You can check it out right now. Links for it are down in the show notes, along with everything else I'm talking about today. What else? Okay. Oh, Shay has a couple of videos up. He did one for Spellstorm, which is a very cool Dueling Wizards style game. In the vein of, Magic the Gathering, but, doing its own stuff. Very, very cool, neat twist on the basics. But honestly, as neat as Spellstorm was, I really enjoyed his run through of Prowl, Clans and Cunning, which asked the question, what if the Magic the Gathering were a deduction game? Which is really far out and very unique, quite unlike anything else I've ever seen. Dueling deduction with really, really cool anthropomorphized animal art. Really neat run through. You can check it out right now. Prowl, Clans, and Cunning. And his other one, Spellstorm. But we're still not done, folks. There was more on the channel. I did a run-through for Daybreak, the latest cooperative game from Matt Leacock teaming up with Mateo. Oh, I'm sorry, Mateo, I don't remember your last name, but a new designer. And here's the deal, folks. This is the best game of 2023. Previously, I thought Earth was the best game of 2023, but the more Jen and I play it, the more I fall in love with this. This game is currently sitting just outside of my top 10 games of all time. I think it's sitting on my number 12. It's absolutely amazing. I try to demonstrate what makes it so fun, both from a gameplay perspective and also from a broader state of the world perspective. I am blown away by this. This might be Matt Leacock's masterpiece. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Best game of 2023, and you can check out my run through. I was a little late to the party because everybody got their hands on it while I was still on the road, but I finally got home, finally got to play it, and oh, Matt, you outdid yourself with Daybreak, and you can check out that run through right now. But we're still not done, folks. There was so much on the channel this week. I put up another Q&A where I answered 3 big questions, and I was joined by Jen, so it was her and me trying to work together to talk about when is a game collection too big, how often should we play games, what's a reasonable amount, how to deal with antisocial players, and the biggest topic, when do we cheat while playing? The answer may surprise you. Turns out, for both of us, quite a bit, and I go into detail about when we cheat and why we cheat, and that was a lot of fun. But I am still not done, folks, because there was yet more. We had another episode of the R&R show, and this was a fun topic. Games that we love, that we should hate, that just don't work for us at all. Normally, any other time, we would throw this out the door, but these are 12 games that me and Ray and Ruel and Chris love to pieces, and we break down why. And if you check out the extended edition, I do a full top 10 of my own stuff on this topic. Plus, in the extended edition of the show, they introduce a fun new board game trivia thing that was a blast, and I think everybody who watches it, if you like board games, and you want to test your mettle, you will enjoy the extended edition of episode 88 of the R&R show. So that was a lot of stuff. We had a busy week on the channel, folks, but there are other videos out there from other channels that I think are awesome too. I think I've got 4 to tell you about. Let's start with Ruel. Let's keep going, because if you weren't done with games being covered, folks, Ruel did a great run through of Gnar, and it's on his channel. It's phenomenal. He's showing off a solo variant, which was very, very cool and very nicely done as well. In case you thought, oh, I'm gonna pass on Gnar because it doesn't have solo. Well, you check out Ruel's run through. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I have to admit, I would have been kicking myself since October of last year that I did not cover Gnar on the channel because I think it's a brilliant engine building game. And so I was very, very happy to see that Ruel did a phenomenal job covering it. So I highly recommend his Gnar solo run through. What else have we got? This is a big deal, folks. Saturday Night Live, not last night's episode, but the previous week's, did an entire skit about board games, specifically about Ticket to Ride. And it follows the standard Saturday Night Live formula where, okay, you got some normal people and then you've got some weird people, and the normal people respond agog to the weird person. In this case, it's Kristen Wiig, who doesn't want to be Jumanji'd by playing Ticket to Ride. And they talk a lot about Ticket to Ride in this skit as it goes on and on and on. Like I said, it's kind of formulaic. It's just a standard Saturday Night Live skit, but it was just so awesome to see such a major, major pop cultural moment for board games. And good for Alan Moon and everybody at Ticket to Ride. I am sure of the millions of people who saw this, there must have been hundreds, if not thousands, who said, a board game about trains? Let me learn more about this Ticket to Ride. That's awesome, and I hope to see more. Do it again, Saturday Night Live. Lorne Michael, give us what we want. Anyway, one more. This is a very quick 3-minute long how to play video for AI 100% Human, which is going to be crowdfunding at the end of the month. I'm not covering it, although I did play it at the Dice Tower West convention, and I thought it was phenomenal. One of the best closed hand card drafting games I've ever seen. So this is setting the stage for it. If you like Sushi Go, or Seven Wonders, or any game where you have your hand of cards, you keep one for yourself, hand the rest, you want to check this out because this is one of the best closed hand drafting games of all time. Everybody should be as excited for it when it crowdfunds as Jen and I are. It's absolutely brilliant, and this very quick little 3-minute video shows you how and why, and you can check that out with the links down below. Okay, that was it, folks. That's a bunch of videos. Now, oh wait, I jumped the gun. We have one more video. Let's come back to it. It is, where did you go? It's flip side of board gaming. JT, who is Sam Healy's co-host on the channel, his daughter Anna came home from college. And so they decided to do her top 10. And this was fascinating to see what are the favorite games of somebody who grew up in the house of a hardcore crazy over the top board game fanatic, and it's a weird mix of stuff like Rahdo is her number 10, but she also has some really hardcore choices as well. And it was just fascinating seeing a father-daughter talk about their favorite games and what they like and where they disagree. So it was just fun to watch, but it was even more eye-opening, and I don't want to spoil any more. Let me get away from it because it was just full of surprises from start to finish. Anna seems like a very interesting young lady, and I think I would very much enjoy playing games with her sometime. And she has some very interesting tastes. You will definitely enjoy that top 10, which I did not want to spoil anymore. I already spoiled number 10, Rahdo. Anyway, okay. Now, we're done with videos. Let's talk about games. I have got 5 that I think sound super awesome. They've all made it onto my personal wish list, and I've subscribed to them so that as more information becomes available, I will know more, and maybe you want to do the same. It's one of the great features of a Board Game Geek website. It makes it really easy to keep track on new information about games. Anyway, what are these 5 games I am going to tell you about, folks? I'm glad you asked. Let's start with Sparks, a game where you run your factory, produce robots, and bring them to life. And why am I excited? This is Christian Osby, one of my favorite designers of all time, teaming up, Florin and Kjell Svensson and Florin Perluka. I don't know you very well, but I do know your other co-designer, Adrian Adamescu, one of the co-designers of Sagrada and a very well-respected designer in his own right. So that's a very cool team up. I'm excited for that reason, but I'm also excited because I love dice drafting and engine building, and this game sounds like it's going to have a very cool take on that. I think, we can look at the back of the box and get a sense. And, this looks like a game that I want to play with, is that a conveyor belt? I love conveyor belts in board game. Colorful dice to draft and put on your own board, building up your own schematics of stuff, getting a bunch of card robots and activating them with the dice we draft, and then a parrot, too, while we're at it. It looks really neat, and again, that team of Osby and Adamescu and Perluka and Svensson too makes me very excited for Sparks. Again, links for everything, including the Board Game Geek pages I'm talking about down in the show notes if you want to read up more about it, folks. Then we've got Sunavalo. I'm excited for this because it is Andreas Odendahl, one of the best designers. La Granja. And now I'm drawing a blank. Let me just go on ahead and pull of Andreas's. La Granja, Cooper Island, Solarius Mission, Planta Nubo, which I'm getting my Planta Nubo. Jonathan Cox of John Gets Games is sending me Planta Nubo in the mail. I can't wait to play it. I'm so excited. But I'm just excited in general, including for Sunavalo, a midweight, which is unique. Andreas generally does super duper heavy hardcore Euros, but this is a midweight game with a card game with a board game feel in a solar punk world. So you had me at all that, and it sounds like just bucolic farming, but then it talks about solar punk drones that we're using. It features an innovative purchasing mechanism, but what really gets me excited, besides the design pedigree, every time you acquire a card for your farm, you activate an entire column of cards, causing your farm to flourish, but you must earn resources to cover the cost of these cards. I love it. It sounds like a very cool engine builder. The more cards you get, you play them on there, you activate everything in chain reactions. Oh, I'm excited. I am excited, folks, for Sunavalo. Also, I'm excited for Reef Project. This looks like a new game from publisher Board and Dice, designers Martino Ciccarera and Federico Perlorenzi. Them I do not know, but Board and Dice I know, and they never let me down. And if that weren't enough, what I'm really excited about is the subject matter, because this is a Euro game where we're scientists trying to revitalize the coral reefs around the world, launching expeditions, recharging or traveling, every action, using missions to, rejuvenate the coral reefs around the world, which is such a clear, omnipresent threat, one of many, many problems our world faces. And there are people out there working diligently to turn this crisis around, and to have an entire game devoted to this subject matter makes me very excited. And then knowing it's coming from Board and Dice, who are one of the best, most reliable Euro design powerhouses, makes me even more excited for Reef Project, which I guess will be coming this year. Then we've got Hutan. Man, I wish there was art for this, because it's got art from Vincent Dutrait. So you had me at Vincent Dutrait. I'm a simple man. Put pretty pictures in front of me, which unfortunately I can't show you today, and I'll be happy. But I'm also happy because it's Oscar Granerud and Daniel Peterson. These guys have been such a powerhouse couple of designers for the last years. This one, watch your rainforest come alive with majestic trees and iconic animals. It sounds like it's a tile laying game. That's what the mechanism is. But from the description, it sounds like you're laying more things on top of your tiles, upgrading your tiles, turning the seeds into trees, and then turning trees into habitats for animals. And then the animals come in as a multi-step process over 9 rounds. So the subject matter sounds great. The design duo is phenomenal, and it's going to be jaw-droppingly beautiful. So definitely, I'm looking forward to Hutan. All right, and then the last one. This one's a bit silly. I'm maybe stretching a bit, but Dungeon Rummy sounds so charming. A fun cooperative rummy game with an innovative twist. The description doesn't really say what the innovative twist is. It almost sounds like it's a game you could play with just a few decks of standard playing cards, one of those kinds of things. But I am intrigued because we are trying, we have our deck of cards, we're drawing cards, trying to build 3-of-a-kinds, 4-of-a-kinds runs with cards of 6 or greater, trying to get various rummy-style hands to fight monsters. And meanwhile, the monsters are forcing us to drill through our deck faster, making it harder. I don't know. The deck runs out, the game is over. If you defeat the boss, you win. A simple cooperative rummy card game from designer Fel Barros. It sounds interesting to me. I put it on my wish list. Maybe that sounds interesting to you, and you might put it on yours. But that is it, folks. Another week done and dusted, and I've got to get to work. You know what I'm filming today? Sixth Realm. It's in the other room. Jen and I just finished playing it, and I can't wait to bring it to you. But in the meantime, there is the playlist of everything we just talked about today. And, I've got just a few more things to check out before I start filming, and you need to follow that link. So, just go ahead, because nothing else is happening here.